On April 8th, the world woke to a moment of fragile relief. After weeks of escalating strikes, counterstrikes, and regional instability, a ceasefire between the United States and Iran was officially announced. Financial markets reacted immediately. Oil prices stabilized. Shipping routes cautiously resumed. Global leaders issued statements calling for restraint. But beneath the surface of diplomatic language, a deeper question remained unanswered. Is this the return to normal, or simply a pause before the next phase of conflict? The ceasefire came after one of the most volatile periods in recent Middle Eastern security history, following devastating U.S.-Israeli strikes in February and March that severely damaged Iranian military and energy infrastructure. Now, analysts warn that what looks like stability may actually be a tactical reset in a much longer confrontation. To understand the ceasefire, we must return to the escalation that preceded it. Between February and March, the region experienced a rapid intensification of conflict. U.S. and Israeli forces launched coordinated strikes targeting Iranian air defense systems, missile production facilities, naval infrastructure, energy export hubs. Iran responded with asymmetric warfare tactics, drone operations, missile launches, and regional proxy mobilization. What emerged was not a conventional war. It was a layered conflict across land, sea, air, and cyber domains. The U.S.-Israeli campaign was described by defense analysts as precision-focused degradation warfare. Rather than full occupation or invasion, the objective was to systematically weaken Iran's military capacity. Iran responded through missile salvos targeting regional bases, drone saturation attacks, maritime disruption operations, cyber interference campaigns. The result was a multi-domain conflict that stretched Iran's defensive doctrine to its limits. At the core of Iran's military strategy is the Mosaic defense doctrine. This system is designed to decentralize command in the event of a large-scale attack. Instead of relying on a single command center, Iran disperses authority across regional commanders, IRGC units, local operational cells. The idea is simple. If one layer is destroyed, others continue functioning independently. But during the February to March strikes, analysts observed significant strain on this system. Communication delays, coordination breakdowns, and fragmented retaliation responses. The Mosaic defense system did not collapse, but it was tested at its limits. One of the most strategically significant targets during the escalation was Karg Island. Karg Island is Iran's primary oil export terminal. It handles the majority of the country's crude oil shipments to global markets. Strikes targeting infrastructure around Karg did not just affect Iran militarily. They affected global energy markets. Even temporary disruptions created oil price volatility, shipping insurance spikes, rerouting of tanker traffic. Energy analysts describe Karg Island as Iran's economic lifeline. At the center of global energy security lies a narrow waterway, the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 20% of global oil shipments pass through this corridor. During the escalation, shipping companies began rerouting or delaying passage. Insurance premiums surged. Naval escorts increased. Commercial traffic slowed. For a brief moment, the Strait of Hormuz became the most important choke point in the global economy. Inside Iran, the conflict exposed a critical internal tension. The relationship between the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and the regular army. The IRGC operates as an ideological and strategic force loyal to the Islamic Republic's core leadership. The regular army functions as a more traditional national defense structure. During the crisis, reports indicated disagreements over retaliation timing, escalation thresholds, defensive priorities. These internal dynamics raised concerns about coordination under extreme pressure. The April 8th ceasefire did not emerge from peace negotiations alone. It emerged from exhaustion. Both sides had reached operational limits. Iran's defensive systems strained regional allies, destabilized U.S. and allied forces managing escalation risks. The ceasefire is therefore not an endpoint. It is a stabilization mechanism. Analysts remain divided. Some view the ceasefire as a return to controlled stability. Others argue it is merely a tactical pause in a longer strategic confrontation. The core issues remain unresolved: regional influence, nuclear concerns, proxy network tensions, maritime security. Even short disruptions in the Middle East ripple globally. Oil prices fluctuate, inflation pressures rise, supply chains adjust. The ceasefire brought temporary relief, but uncertainty remains embedded in global markets. The Middle East security structure has been altered. Trust between actors is weakened. Military readiness remains high. Diplomatic channels are cautious. A new balance is forming, but it is fragile. For deeper geopolitical analysis, visit nexusinsight.org. Subscribe.